man-to-man coverage. 4th and 3, game on the line. Williams loafing one for a doozy. He caught it! He caught it!
Kamara in at tailback. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns. And now 6. Tied for the most all time.
You're listening to the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hanson, Matt Hartman, and Ryan Matthews. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pigskin Project, where today was a pretty eventful day. We had the schedule release happen, and it was highly anticipated. I feel like in previous years, they just released it at like noon, and people were like cool with that, just like every other league. But it's the NFL, and it's America's real sport, right? Favorite pastime. I don't know. Everybody's really been anticipating it. Lots of fun team releases as far as how they did it. The media team Super Bowl, as I think it was Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport put today. The Chargers putting out that Minecraft one really did it. I mean, it's always the Chargers. But without further ado, Ben, how are we doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. A little tired and a nice little break. Officially now an IU alum, which is
congrats.
Crazy. Thank you. Crazy thing to say. After the first last couple of years, but I mean, you guys have seen it all. This is right around the time we had started. It was the start of college. So, but yeah, man, I'm doing great. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I might be the one person on the planet that hates the NFL schedule release. I think it could be an email every single year, but yet here we go. We have to make goofy videos. The Chargers have to have their Super Bowl every year. I get it. I know people like it, but I'm a Grinch.
Thank you.
Real fun guy. Real fun guy here. Anyways, so we've got a little bit of weekly news to cover this week, and it's nothing really too crazy until we get to the big stuff, the real meat and bones of this episode. Panthers are cutting edge Jadeveon Clowney, and then the Panthers are also placing running back Jonathan Brooks on the physically unable to play list, and so he's going to be out for the 2025 season. Another player that's going to be out for the 2025 season because he got added to that list is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who's playing for the Browns, the linebacker from Notre Dame. He's one of our favorites to kind of watch, so it's kind of a bummer for us. But those are two guys that are going to be out. Another one, Ravens safety Ardarius Washington suffered a torn Achilles and is expected to miss a large part or the entire 2025 season, so just kind of be on the lookout for that later on down the line. But in other news, contract news, Bengals edge rusher Trey Hendrickson says there's been no contract communication between him and the Bengals, and he does not intend on playing out the remainder of his contract. He even went on to say it has, quote, become personal. We'll see exactly how far along those things get stretched down to, but knowing the Bengals, it's not really a great sign between the two. In other contract news, Ravens today signed star running back Derrick Henry to a 2-year, $30 million extension. I believe that's pretty well earned. The guy went off with Baltimore last season, and I expect him to do the same this year. In fun news, Deion Sanders is set to star in a Netflix documentary titled Primetime, which will release in 2026, so that's pretty cool. And then lastly, and probably the favorite news of this week, Matt, Saints quarterback Derek Carr is retiring. Let's hear from the Saints fan really quick. How are we feeling about this?
Raider legend, all-time leading passer for the Raiders, touchdowns. I don't know what he did the last 2 years, but yeah, I mean, he's an all-time Raider legend. So, but no, like on serious note with the Saints, Derek Carr did a really cool thing for the Saints doing this retirement now. I don't think the guy wanted to get another surgery, and so frankly did not. And what is it? With him coming off the books as a retirement player next season, the Saints were, if they were to cut him next season, he would have been close to $60 million in dead money, which is, nobody has ever touched that. Russ went over $100 million, but Russ, they spread it out. They spread it out over multiple years, where the Saints would take that $60 million right up front in 2026. That gets dropped down to about $31 million. So about 28 to 30-ish million dollars saved on the cap in 2026 because of this announcement. Yeah, I mean, it didn't work out. It didn't work out, plain and simple. I don't think any Saints fan or NFL fan needs to tell you any different. It didn't work out, and that's it. Wish the guy the best.
Yeah, you're muted, by the way, Ryan. Yeah, it's interesting. Again, it makes sense why you guys went Tyler Chuck even more now. But as you said, you know, for us, we see him as, you know, the Saints because of you here. But at the end of the day, like you said, you know, he spent the majority of pretty much all of his career with the Raiders at this point. Played well at that point, you know, well enough to at least get, you know, Saints fans' expectations up when he made the signing. But yeah, it seemed like it was going that way. He had given a speech at his church like last week or the week before that kind of hinted at it a little bit. But hey, like you said, that's now $30 million less towards the Saints cap that they have to worry about.
Yeah, I think it's great for your team just because of that, right? I mean, it's something that we talk about every single offseason is how are you going to dig yourself out of that hole? And, you know, I think that we're trending in the right direction now for you, and that's really exciting. And, you know, hopefully within these next couple of years we figure it out so that all three of us can have competitive teams and really be going at our throats in the NFC. How about that? Sounds pretty fun. So this week, as you can probably imagine, we're going to be going over our most anticipated games of the 2025 to 2026 NFL season. However, I would like to announce something on behalf of us in the Pigskin Project that next week we'll be starting record predictions. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's probably my favorite part of the off season. It makes it go by a lot faster. So, you know, starting next week, we'll be actually, I think 4 months from next week, we'll be, you know, pretty close to the season, I want to say. Yeah. So I worded that weird, but you get what I was trying to say. So, you know,
always fun too, right? Like if you went back and looked at how we had talked about the Vikings, or even, you know, the vice versa of it, went back and looked how we talked about the Niners, and, you know, that's its own situation in itself. But it's always fun to go back and like, look what we got right and look at how much we missed.
Yeah. It'll be fun to do it, the three of us this time as well, because I know Matt would come on from time to time and have his Saints going undefeated as a running bit. So, you know, it's always fun. But just be on the lookout for that. If you don't already, I urge you to follow our Twitter page. That way, or X, I guess we should say now. But that way you can keep up to date on which divisions we're doing when. And we're going to do 2 teams at a time. So, you know, if all's according to plan, we'll do 2 teams every episode leading up to week 1. And then, you know, we'll keep you posted with how we think your favorite team's going to do. So, you know, follow the Twitter for more news for that. But as of right now, we're going to go over the most anticipated games coming up this season. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick. And we'll go over week 1 together and break the news to Matt, apparently. This is all brand new. So, starting off, Thursday Night Football, we've got Dallas and Philadelphia. That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah.
This one made me upset. Like, as an Eagles fan, this one made me upset. Yeah, it's the Cowboys.
Is there anything that doesn't make you guys upset? Jeez.
But
all right, mister, this could have been an email. Come on. Let's settle down.
No, but Matt, literally right after the Super Bowl, literally right after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, we had talked about you have some potential for some really good matchups in Dallas, so I can't be too mad. But you miss the opportunity to do the Commanders. You miss the opportunity to do the Lions. You miss the opportunity to do the Rams. These are all teams in which they played very well, maybe not the Commanders, but they played them in the playoffs, close games at times, or like the Lions, which is considered to be like the other big team in the NFC, and now you're throwing the Lions game all the way at the end of the schedule, which I guess I get, but everyone's going to be hurt. I think there were better options. I can't, it's not like it's, the Bears or something to open up the NFL schedule, but I think there were better options. But
I can agree to that. I mean, Dallas isn't the most flashy one compared to recent years where, we've had the Chiefs and Lions and, for example, just a couple years ago. But, it was expected that the Eagles are going to play. So, I mean, they got part of it right at least. So, Kansas City and Los Angeles, the Chargers, playing each other on Friday in Brazil. That one's going to be pretty fun, in my opinion. Chargers reloading
game,
a little
right?
bit. Yes, it is. So, that one's going to be a lot of fun, with the Chargers kind of rebuilding that offense, and then the Chiefs kind of almost deconstructing a little bit, but they're still the Chiefs. So, like, moving on, Tampa Bay faces Atlanta, Cincinnati faces Cleveland, Miami faces Indy, Las Vegas faces New England. That one's kind of a fun one considering the whole Brady aspect of it, facing his former team in, week 1. That's kind of cool. Arizona facing New Orleans, Pittsburgh in New York, Jets, Giant. Oh wait, yeah, I'll stop there. Okay, because I skipped over Matt's team. Matt, how are you feeling about your week 1 matchup?
I can speak on the Saints as a whole right now. They have 0 primetime games this year. I've never seen a team do that before, but they did it this year, so that's fun.
With the Titans as well. I think it was Titans, Browns, and them.
The Titans?
Yes, that's the one I was
What?
going to say. It makes no
It's
sense that
shocking.
the Titans, the other teams make sense, but the Titans,
Dude, why couldn't we get a Houston versus Tennessee primetime, like Thursday night?
Matt, do you have the schedule pulled up by chance? I'm gonna have you.
I'm just going through it.
I'm gonna have you share your screen because my connection's being kind of buggy, and I don't think mine's as reliable as yours would be. So
Sorry, I'm looking at Dallas. Dallas has a stretch where they play a Monday night game against Arizona, then they have a bye, then they have a Monday night against Las Vegas, and then they play Philly, and then they play Thanksgiving, and then they have back-to-back primetime again. So there's a stretch where we get like 7 Dallas standalone games, by the way. So that's fun.
It's crazy. So some of the schedule, just in general, Eagles, it's the off season. Allow me to get upset about whatever I want to get upset about. I'm the reigning Super Bowl champion. Go Birds. Eagles don't play back-to-back home game at all.
Yeah.
They not one time in this entire season earn a back-to-back home game, which is ridiculous too in its own right. That's besides the point. This is true off-season mode that we're in here right now, guys. Complaining about not having back-to-back road games or home games.
How about Pittsburgh? How about Pittsburgh and New York in week 1 too? I mean, you're facing
Rodgers
what's likely
going to New York.
I mean, yeah, exactly. So, and not to mention their new starting quarterback Justin Fields playing his old team in Pittsburgh. I mean, that one's gonna be fun. So, I mean, and
Does that even count? Like his old team, he played 3 games.
He played more than 3, didn't he? I thought he played more than 3. Wow.
Maybe when he was like the Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I don't know because Pittsburgh fans were kind of pounding the table for him to be retained, and they didn't do it. So it's interesting, at least from the Pittsburgh standpoint. I think that's a good one. It's going to draw in a crowd. Detroit and Green Bay is always one of them as well. That one's always going to burn the house down as well. Baltimore and Buffalo, man. Baltimore.
That's
and
going to
Buffalo.
be the watcher. That's going to be the looker, I think.
Yeah.
These final 4-ish games, including Monday, are a ridiculous slate of games. Like, I'm so happy for it. Again, you have your divisional game with the Packers and Lions, and then you have two really good teams in the Texans and Rams. The probably, we'll say two of the top three teams in the AFC in the Ravens and Bills, and then rounded out with another divisional matchup in that same division. We'll see what JJ and Caleb have to offer. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah. And then, yeah, you just said it.
Could we too?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Okay.
This one's fun as well, just because Thursday night's going to be my birthday, and that's like the first time in a long time it's not going to be a week 1 matchup. It'll be a week 2 matchup. So, and a Thursday night football as well. That'll be a fun one. Washington and Green Bay as well. I mean, what a game. I get to watch my arch nemesis play football on my birthday. That's normally... I'll keep my comments. I was going to say... Oh, yeah, you pick. Yeah, I was going to say... Normally, it's gone pretty well for me. So, I don't know if I just hope for, a meteor to just come down and, but, like, I don't know. This is going to be a fun one, though.
Week 2.
Exactly. Yeah, Philly, Kansas City. You've got Chicago playing in Detroit. So, Ben Johnson's return this week as well. That one's going to be cool. I think that... Scroll down just a little bit. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, I think you guys already talked about
double
games.
Monday Night Footballs, man.
I hate double
horrible.
Monday Night Football.
Horrible.
I'm taking
But
this
these
away.
ones at least, like...
See.
So this one will be ending,
Yeah.
but this one is starting. That's kind
There we
of a
go.
good thing.
I despise the double Monday Night
Yeah,
Football.
it's terrible.
It's
Not
the bane
only
of my
that,
existence.
You've got one game that, and it always happens this way, right? You have one game that's worth watching, and then the other one that's just like, well, I like football, so I'm going to watch it, right? But it's like, you had Philly, Kansas City to put on Monday Night Football right there. But instead, you chose Atlanta, Minnesota for Sunday Night Football, and then threw Los Angeles and Vegas. I mean,
Hey,
what are we doing?
don't disrespect Gino. This is
Yeah,
a conversation we had last week, all right? Go back and listen to that if you guys didn't. Don't disrespect Gino like that. Gino and Ashton Jeanty, I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And again, maybe it's true off-season form. We're just finding different ways to hype ourselves up, but I like it.
What's next?
Week 3.
Week 3. God, two on Thursday night.
No. See, another great Eagles game. I love it.
Yeah.
Rams and shoot, the Rams were 2 plays away from basically playing in the Super Bowl at that point.
Cincinnati and Minnesota as well at noon. I mean, that one's going to be fun. I mean, you're looking at one of the best offenses in the league square up against a Brian Flores defense. That one's going to be awesome. Dallas and Chicago. That's going to be Matt Eberflus's return, man. That's huge for me.
No.
Travis Hunter versus Derek Stingley.
Ooh.
That's going to be fun too.
I'm just watching the
Yeah.
Travis Hunter this year. I'm just seeing who he's
Yeah.
going to get to face on both sides of the ball each and every week this year.
What's the Monday
Nico
night game
Collins
there?
and Derek Stingley. What a matchup for him.
Detroit, Baltimore.
Yeah, Detroit,
Love it.
Baltimore, man. That's a
Tickets are
banger.
not even that expensive for that game.
Yeah, 117 get-in price for a game in Baltimore. Prime time at that. That's not bad for opening day, at least. For
Yeah.
scalpers to get a hold of that, they'll double by that time. That'll be okay. All right, week 4. Now we're kind of in the trenches of like how.
Wait. Sorry. The Saints go from at Seattle to at Buffalo in a week.
Oh, what a
How's that
travel. What a
possible?
travel schedule.
How's that possible,
Ugh.
dude?
Literally
That's so
the
gross.
opposite sides of the country. That is awful. Oh.
Minnesota Pittsburgh, I think, will be okay. That decent game, I think.
Oh, Ben's arch nemesis.
Ooh,
And to be
Tampa
frank,
Bay.
we'll get to it when it comes time. I'll probably have the Eagles losing that game because I can't do it. I can't stand
Yeah.
them. But
Green
Baltimore
Bay
and
and
Kansas
Dallas
City,
is
I
fun.
really think is the shining
yeah.
shining game of that week.
Dude, the double again.
Dude, what is going on, man?
And look at the
those
times
matchups
now.
suck.
It's not even at like 6 to 9. It's that game's gonna start like halfway through the second quarter.
Well, they're trying to bury Justin Fields football. I get it. Okay. They're trying to make sure no one knows it's happening. I understand that.
But hey, Joe Burrow, I mean, facing off against Bo Nix, that's the real primetime slot, right?
Yeah, the
there.
Denver
Monday.
game. That's
That's
crazy.
gonna be cool. What we got for 5? San Francisco, Los Angeles is always a fun matchup, regardless of who they have on their team.
Not
That's
last year on Thursday.
No, it wasn't.
That was the field goal game.
Oh man.
Yes,
Okay,
that was
yeah, fair. awful. Oh my god, dude! Look at the Minnesota Cleveland.
I-
Okay, never mind. It's in
I
London.
knew the Minnesota one. Yeah, I knew the Minnesota. Minnesota goes from week 4 Dublin to week 5 London.
Which
If you
that
scroll
makes
down
sense.
just-
How did they
Scroll
become the
down.
guinea pig to do that?
So you'll see there's teams on bye, and I just want to complain about this, okay? Because my team is one of them. So you've got Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, and Pittsburgh on bye in week 5, okay? And this isn't just about my team. I'm just going to put it out there that I'm a huge advocate for 2 bye weeks because this is ridiculous, man. So, like, hypothetically, right? Every team in the NFL, their dream is to go on and win the Super Bowl, right? So let's say any of these 4 teams have at least a Super Bowl opportunity to where they play in the Super Bowl. That's 17 straight weeks of football. That's horrible scheduling.
Right,
So
right.
I'm not. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Not to be that guy. Do you know what the Eagles' bye week last year was?
Was it 5?
It was week 5.
I still hate it. I think that's entirely too early. My thing is like, I mean, you. There's no way you were happy about that either, it's.
No,
It's
I
just
was
the
I was
fact of
pissed.
like, okay, my coworker was asking about, or not asking about it, but you and I were talking about it earlier. I think that if they were to do one of 2 things, it would have been really, really good. Or I guess one of 3 things. The first thing would be the 2 bye week system that we talked about. Even just add a week. You know what I mean? Add a week to the regular season and make it so that teams have 2 breaks within the season, so that players can remain healthy and stuff. Second possibility would be getting 1 break. So kind of what college football does, where you take a break off of football right before the playoffs start. The third one would be probably the least likely scenario that the NFL would go for, because they'd lose a lot of money, at least for 1 week, is I believe it would be week 10, because that'd be the middle of the regular season. Just go ahead and just take a break right there. Like, everybody gets 1 bye week right there to make it even. Nobody plays football then. And then from that point forward, everybody else plays, so that, that's, and to keep people talking about football, that's when you make the trade deadline. So you move the deadline back a little bit to week 10, make it so that everybody gets a break, and after week 10, which is your bye week, the team that you have at that point will be the one that's going forward for the rest of the season. That's my idea for how to resolve this issue. But being one of the teams that I feel like we consistently get, I mean, we had an early bye week last year, in my opinion. I mean, it was 7, but, now we're moving it up to week 5. 5 feels so early. We just started playing football. You'd be 2-2 possibly going into the bye week. That's horrible. And I don't care who it is. Like, I hate that for Green Bay as well. And I hate Green Bay. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's horrible. It's horrible. There's no way all 4 of these teams can go into week 18 with a fully healthy roster. There's no way. There's no way.
Do you guys have a mini bye at all? So, like, you play Thursday and you don't loop back around until Monday? That's
think there's
usually
a
how the
chance.
NFL gets... That's usually how the NFL gets away. Like these early
Yeah.
bye weeks, they usually throw the mini bye for these teams near the end of the season, where they do a Thursday and then Monday flip. But there's really
I'll look
2
and get
shining
back to you.
games in this schedule for week 5, and that's the Detroit Cincy game and the Texans and Baltimore game. And that's really going to be a measuring stick game for the Texans to see where they're going to be the rest of the season, I think.
Yeah.
Let me see. You said Thursday and then Monday is the week right after, so that mini bye, is that how that works?
Yeah.
Dude.
No, they don't. They don't play on Thursday a single time.
Dude! Oh my
They
gosh.
play
Are we
on
going to have
Friday.
more double headers on Monday than we're going to have single headers? This is ridiculous.
ESPN got pissed. ESPN bought up so many games.
Chicago, Washington on Monday. That's cool. I'll take that in the late slate.
What a weird game to have at 3:20.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Battle of the second-year quarterbacks. I love it. But Sunday Night Football is going to be a spectacular game. It was just a couple of years ago on opening day, and it's going to be another great game now. So
No, I think it's gonna suck.
How is Denver already favored by 6? There's not a line for any other game but just this one right now on this week. It's just
Like-
funny to me.
Gotta bet the overseas games.
It's May, and we could bet on Denver
Thoughts-
Bronco football
Thoughts
right now.
on is Jackson Dart starting at this point, Ben?
I hope so. Shoot. Yeah, I would think so. I really think they're going to try their darndest to get him in as soon as they possibly can. You don't draft a quarterback unless they're Patrick Mahomes and a well-run organization. Most of the time,
Yeah,
teams
they're
don't draft
not a
quarterback.
team operating with time on their side.
Exactly. I think they're going to try to get him in as soon as
Yeah.
they possibly can.
Yeah,
So
I agree. Just wanted to float that out there.
battle.
Hey, Matt, let's go, baby. That's the week. And hey, and I will say that it's still early enough in the season to where it's not going to be cold as balls outside too. So that'd be a really fun one to go to.
Do we have to go? I have Sundays off, boys. Do we have
I
to
think
go?
We have to go. It's
Yeah,
a
I mean-
mid-October game. Come on.
I will only go if Tyler Shuck is playing quarterback.
Oh, stop.
Why
it.
wouldn't he be? He absolutely is going to be.
Injury. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Trade for Shador, dude. Come on. What's the Monday games?
Any other games here that piques your guys' interest? The other games I see is Commanders
Oh, who's on
and
bye?
Dallas
Oh,
here.
Buffalo. Okay.
Commanders, Dallas, and then Eagles, Minnesota. But other than that, it seems like a pretty
Pretty
straightforward
cut and dry.
matchup.
Yeah.
So,
I
Travis
think
Hunter versus Devontae Adams overseas.
Hey, and I mean Jacksonville and London, man, it's always a fun team to watch. I would even argue Green Bay, Arizona in the afternoon slate's a fun one. I think Arizona's a little bit better than what they were last year, so I think, that'll be a fun one to kind of watch. That and Marvin Harrison Jr. beefed up. That was pretty cool to see, a picture of him. It looks like he's put on some muscle, so
I'd hope so.
maybe he'll be a little bit more physical and,
yeah.
stop dropping footballs this year. That'll be awesome
Yeah.
for fantasy as well. Yeah.
Oh, this is a light week. There's a lot of teams on bye.
Holy
Washington,
moly.
Kansas City on Monday. That's cool. Green Bay and Pittsburgh. So Aaron playing his old team. That's fun. Chicago and Baltimore for me. That one's cool. $83 buy-in, dude. Baltimore. Let me have those
What?
ticket prices.
Like, I hope he doesn't get hurt, but, like, what if he can't play this game? And they put it on, like, Sunday Night Football for no reason. You know how they did that 2 years ago and we had to watch the Jets the entire year?
Yeah, that was bad.
Aaron's he's not even on the team right now.
He's
and
on
like
the
the fact that he's on the team, but like it's just funny to me that we're scheduling this knowing that he's a Steeler, but he's not.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like what if he just decided to just like, I'm gonna sit out
just
this
retire. Just retire.
One. Or just retired.
That's
you know
the
how funny
funniest
that'd be?
outcome we could.
Dude, we'd have to watch Jordan Love versus Will Howard.
Uh,
Come on. on Sunday Night Football if he just doesn't play. Like, yikes.
Yeah.
It's too early in the season, but Matt, do you know off the top of your head when they can start flexing these games? Is it week like 13 or 14 where they can start flexing stuff?
They're the NFL. They can do whatever they want.
Fair.
That's the assumption I operate under because, yeah.
After seeing what happened with the NBA lottery, I don't doubt that philosophy with the NFL at this point.
After seeing them schedule football games the same Saturday as the first round of the college football playoff, they could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Week 9, baby.
4 to a Thursday. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
They hate
People
that
might
guy.
not make it. Yeah.
Dude, I love, like, I'm excited, man. Chicago, Cincinnati sounds
Philly's
fun,
on
man.
by week 9. How do you
Love it. Love
Yeah,
it.
that's like almost the perfect scenario, dude.
Oh, Kansas City, Buffalo. Annual Buffalo win, and then they lose in the playoffs. Love to see that.
Minnesota, Detroit. Well, does JJ have it? Does JJ McCarthy have it? So
No.
here's a good follow-up question for you guys. What is it? Week 9 at this point. Is Anthony Richardson still the starting quarterback for
Absolutely.
the Colts?
I don't think he starts the season.
Ah, really?
I don't think he starts the season. I think it's either Daniel Jones or Joe Flacco, and I'm leaning more towards Flacco. But despite what we talked about, I'm sorry. Yeah, so Daniel Jones. My bad. It's been a long day, dude.
No, we've had this like conversation. Like, if their job is on the line and they need to win football games, I don't know why you would put Daniel Jones in there. I think you at least can run. You can build a good running offense behind Anthony Richardson. That's always been my belief.
Before.
I'll be his last defender.
Baltimore, Minnesota's fun. That's cool. Carolina's a team to watch, man. That's gonna be my team that I kind of, take a look at. Yeah. Detroit, Washington's cool.
Yeah, does Washington get it done again? Second time through against Detroit. Hopefully at that point Aiden Hutchinson is healthy. That that video was circulating.
See, I don't know how to project Detroit because
thank you.
Both their guys who made decisions are gone, and they're just upgrading within. And sometimes that goes great, sometimes that goes horrible.
Yeah, sometimes you.
Isn't that what happened with Philly?
Yeah. That's a joke I was
the
making.
year after. Yeah.
Yes.
So
it was
what
bad.
happens if Jared Goff takes a step back? You know what I mean?
Jared
he
Goff
just gets panicked by pressure again.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's gonna be tough. So.
Arizona, Seattle. That one's a fun one.
That is a fun one. Oh, that whole division plays each other that week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Might just be a true sicko in the early slate. Watch the Browns and Jets.
Oh, dude, again? We have to watch this game again on Thursday?
Oh.
God.
The
So
NFL hates
the
us.
same teams. They just pick the same teams to do Thursday Night Football every year.
How many primetime games does New York have? Because I feel like this is the...
Let's see.
Yeah.
1, technically 2 if you count the London. 3.
That's it? I feel like I've seen them so much.
3 more than what the Titans have, which is ridiculous.
Dude,
Justin Fields, baby.
They're begging anyone to go to this Spain game.
It's a Spain game. They just said anyone.
We have to watch
please come to
Tua?
the Spain
What?
game.
No. That's pretty funny. Book a
actually
trip.
love
Playing
that.
Jacksonville.
Ooh, Chicago, Minnesota.
Yet
Minnesota.
again. in Minnesota.
Ah, there it is. There's the game I wanted to open up the freaking season with.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
Womp
Kansas City,
womp.
Denver's also fun as well. You get that one on Christmas as well, so that one will be down the line.
Yeah, also Kansas City just like owns all the holidays now. That's pretty cool.
So, like, side note, primetime football this week is, like, not worth watching at all.
Why?
Like,
No.
Thursday, in my opinion, I mean, Thursday's lackluster. We just talked about that. And then Monday, like, again
But
with the
hey,
Raiders. In Dallas,
Eagles,
I
Detroit.
mean, I don't see the intrigue for either one of these. Why are we putting that? Oh, I'm sorry, Eagles, Detroit. Yes, sorry. That one's good. That one's good. We were 1 for 3 this week, guys. That's amazing. Awesome. And 1 for 4 if you count Washington, Miami. I think that game's going to be horrible. Washington is worlds better than Miami, in my opinion. But hey, you know, whatever.
Here's
is Mike McDaniel the
here's
head
where
coach after this
my-
year? I don't know.
My bet would be for that Spain game is they
Smack.
purposefully scheduled Miami for that Spain game. Would be my guess, because they do have a good following, just because they're in Miami and stuff. So that's my guess as to why it's Miami. And they said, "Well, shoot, let's pick a good team for Miami to face in that game." So
Yeah, how many does Washington have? Let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
6.
and Christmas.
Hey, yep.
This team is gonna be 7-10, man. Oh my god, they're
Hey,
gonna put
Deebo
them under
Samuel,
the bright
buddy.
lights, and they're just not gonna be good this year, huh?
Just pushing the chips in on Jaden Daniels. Man.
It does this. They do this every year. There's always a team that just like takes that step back when they put them under like all these games. Like Chicago was in a ton of games last year, right? Like a ton of those big
I don't
primetime
think
kind
we
of
had
games.
too many of them. Let me look. Hold on.
I feel like you guys had like 5 of them last year. And like we had to sit through that Seattle game at the end of the year. Ugh.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
6-3, dude, disgusting.
But
Hold on a minute.
yeah, I'll move on to week 12. So this would be no.
Oh,
it'd be
good
next week.
Thursday night football matchup. About gosh darn time. It's just a shame Monday night blows.
Yeah,
That's
the Bears had
Ryan's
5
team to
primetime
watch,
games.
dude. Use it, but
5 primetime games for the Bears last year, so you have a point.
they had 5 exactly.
Pittsburgh, they had 5 last year.
Good
yeah,
on
the Bears
me.
did. Yeah.
As many wins as
Pittsburgh
they
playing
did.
Chicago. That's fun. Oh. Yeah. Pittsburgh, Chicago. Aaron Rodgers returning to Soldier Field. That one's gonna be the
He
one I
owns
would
you.
like to go to. He does. Let's see. Tampa
Maybe
Bay,
he's in
Los
Minnesota,
Angeles.
dude. Maybe he's going to Green Bay this week.
Dude, if he goes to Minnesota,
What
that'd be
if he
so
is?
funny. What if he holds off until halfway through training camp? They just don't sign him. Like nobody signs him, and then Minnesota's like, I don't know. JJ
I think
needs
it's a
more
Cam
time.
Newton situation. You remember how long Cam Newton took to sign with the Patriots that one year? Like,
Oh my
it was like
God.
till July. I think that's
Yes.
how long this is going to take at this point.
Dude, yeah, he's on a darkness retreat somewhere, dude. He's not even thinking about contracts. He's taking drugs I can't
Yeah.
pronounce. What else?
Ayahuasca.
I mean, yeah, you could say that. All right.
What? Oh.
3 Thursday games? Oh wait, no, that's Thanksgiving. Jesus
Thanksgiving.
Christ.
Same thing. I had the same reaction, and I realized Thanksgiving.
I told you
hey,
it's
thanks-
the NFL. They can do whatever the hell they want.
thanks for not making me feel alone there, dude. I felt boneheaded there. What? Hey, Bears Eagles. I'm very excited for that because I feel like that's one that me and Ben will at least be able to watch together for So
Maybe,
that's cool.
hopefully.
Yeah, but real ball knowers are watching A&M in Texas. The Horns kill the Aggies. Did you guys
Hey,
see
no,
that?
this
Got
game's
moved
at
Black
2.
Friday
I
this
mean,
year.
what time is that game?
Under the
Can we
lights.
watch both? Yeah, so I mean, we can watch both.
Yeah.
Other than that, this slate's kind of cut and dry unless I'm missing something. I mean, I know like the Thanksgiving games are always going to be fun.
Minnesota,
Denver,
and Seattle.
Denver and
Washington.
in Washington.
Monday night, That's a snooze fest. I'll have that one on in the background. That's one of those I'm gonna do my laundry and have this on in the background or something. I don't know.
I
That's
hate to admit
bad.
it, but the number of Monday
This
night
is for
games-
Eli. This is a you have to watch the Manning cast for this one because they're just gonna show highlights of like Eli's Super Bowl win. There's a game going on, Eli. Nope. Watch this throw to Plaxico Burress. That's gonna be that game.
Hey, Rams Panthers, man. Keep an eye out.
I'm
That'll be
watching.
fun.
Oh, I'm watching.
Yeah, you got to. All right, week
All right.
14 now.
Yeah, who's
Ah,
the
good
team
Thursday
at this point?
game.
Who's the team going into December? You're like, why are they like 10-4? Why are they?
Hey, we'll get to that. I got a little segment I'd like to get into
Why
after
are they
this.
good?
So,
I have my
Bears. Hey, just a little fun fact for you because this is the first time we're seeing Bears versus Green Bay. This is the first time, or we will see this matchup twice in 3 weeks now. So we'll have Chicago,
See,
Green
that's
Bay.
how I think divisional games need to be played. I think divisional
Really?
games. My take on divisional games. I think you need to have your divisional games first 3 weeks of the season and the last 3 weeks of the season to decide what the division looks like, and then those middle 11 games
cooks.
can be whatever they want. But that's what I want. So
Actually, I believe this is the second time, right? Because we had Black Friday
Pittsburgh,
and then
Baltimore,
or not
yes.
Black Friday.
dude, something about
no, I
that
was wrong.
division,
Okay.
man. Something about that.
This
that
game
AFC
specifically, the colors and like it's gonna be 17-14, but no idea which team gets to 17 first. It's
Yes.
awesome. It's a blast every year.
Hey, Cincy Buffalo, man, we get that one again. Cincy,
Oh, yeah.
Cincy at Buffalo. So it's not quite the same thing, but you know.
Cincinnati
Houston
can
and
be
Kansas
good.
City, that one's fun. Rams, Cardinals.
Would you rather be a week 5 bye team or like San Francisco with a week 14 bye week?
If you're a good team, you want a
Discuss.
later bye. If you're a bad
I was
team, I
gonna
think
say-
earlier bye.
I'd prefer 14. Yeah.
I would hate the later bye.
Really?
Just me. Yeah. It's too late.
Week 15, Cleveland, Chicago, baby. That one's fun.
Oh,
I like that.
who's starting for Cleveland? Who's starting?
Shadur.
Yeah, pick a card, any card.
Dylan Gabriel.
Hey, Baltimore, Cincy, man. Oh, and we get Atlanta, Tampa Bay again, dude, on Thursday night. Remember that game? Kirk Cousins threw for
Oh,
500
Kirk
something
Cousins.
yards.
500
Yeah,
yards.
Darnell
yeah.
Mooney just popping off, being the best wide receiver you'll ever
Wasn't
Is
it
see.
he
like
fantasy
Daryl Hodge?
draftable? That's gonna be a fun one to
Yeah,
talk
the game
about.
winner.
Yeah. Detroit, Los Angeles again.
Sauce versus Travis Hunter. Sorry, I'm
Ah.
just doing
Fun.
the Travis Hunter thing.
You should.
Green Bay,
Lions,
Denver.
Detroit.
Lions, Detroit.
Lions, Detroit
Good.
Lions. Yes, they're playing the Los Angeles Rams.
Barn burner.
Lions,
Minnesota,
Detroit.
Dallas. Does Dak make it this far in the season? Who knows? You know.
Why does Miami have so many primetime games? Can you
Okay.
see how many primetime game Miami has?
Oh my god, dude. Yeah.
Who? Miami?
Miami,
Yes.
dude. And I
Let's
feel like
see,
we're seeing
let's see.
Pittsburgh a lot too.
1, 2, and then 3, 4 technically, 5, 6, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Who
Hey,
is watching
look at
this
look at Mike
game?
McDaniels in that picture again, and that's my reaction. I'm telling you.
do you
Rewind
do?
it if you're watching back later on. He's like,
Oh, dude, he's so confused. That's right now.
Hitting
yeah,
his vape pen on the side.
yeah, yeah. All right.
So we're through all the buys at this point.
Perfect. Week 16. Ready for that? Look at that. Green Bay, Chicago on Saturday, dude. Who scheduled this? Now, Ben, I
Who
get your
scheduled
point.
this crap, dude?
I
Sorry for
get
yelling.
this.
I'm going to be watching college football that day. Sorry, Green Bay, Chicago.
Yes.
I don't care about you.
Hey, I just want to say, Ben, to your point, as far as the divisional games and stuff like that, I don't disagree with you, but it doesn't need to be the same opponent in twice in 3 weeks, dude. That's bad. That's bad scheduling. It needs to be somebody else. You know what I mean? It needs to be Minnesota or Detroit. Like, make it Why don't we play Green Bay again during Week 18? Like we did that last year. That would have been something fun to. There's a narrative. Move it to. Whatever. Philly, Washington.
Hey, look at the get in the door price for that Falcons Arizona game. That's cheap.
$57. It's cheaper in Carolina.
Yeah. I'd be hopping on those tickets, man. Big Bryce Young can't.
What's up with Detroit's tickets? Why is Rodgers? Apologies. Figured it out. Don't get mad at me.
Other than
More Miami, by the way.
Yep.
You guys,
I know it's ridiculous.
We get the
Dude,
Indianapolis
we're
Colts
gonna
on
get
prime
Zach
time.
Wilson at this point.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh, that's epic. All right.
17, baby.
All right.
3 Thursday games.
Good thing Christmas is on a football day this year and not
Yeah.
a Wednesday. That was terrible, guys.
I'll
Bad.
say
I
this:
hated that.
unless it's like a football day, Christmas is basketball. I hate to say it, but Christmas is
Yeah.
basketball unless it is on a football day.
LeBron told us that.
I love snow games. I'm the opposite. I'll be honest.
But snow
Basketball
games
on
don't have
Christmas
to
has gone
necessarily
down.
be a Christmas game. Clown. Just kidding. I do hate the Netflix.
Clown.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on the
Yeah.
Netflix games, though? Do we like the Netflix games?
They've gotten better. With
I didn't
live
watch
streaming.
last
It'll be
year,
okay.
so
Good, because they were bad.
I saw some Iron Eagle and like JJ Watt clips that were funny, but yeah.
Yeah. But hey,
Um,
Buffalo Eagles.
Football-
That'll
like,
actually be a good game.
Football is not needed on Christmas. Christmas is a family day, all right?
Agreed.
That's what I believe.
Philly Buffalo.
Philly Buffalo,
Cool.
they play. How about
There's San
Chicago
Francisco.
in Sunday Night Football?
Yeah.
You're going to be waiting all day for Sunday night, Ryan. Wait, there's one 3:25 game?
Yep.
How does that make sense?
Hey, scroll down. It's the date/time to be determined flex games. That's why we only have one.
Oh, so these
3:25
two.
slate.
Okay, these two, because these are
Yeah,
West
we'll
Coast
probably
games.
get like a Baltimore Green Bay in there too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, okay.
But yeah.
So this is just Fox calling dibs. Fox is like, yeah, dibs on this game.
I want that one. Yeah. Week 18.
And then week 18, it's just like they're all going to be two. Yeah, they're all going to be to be determined.
All right. So
Yeah.
week 18, what game here do you think is gonna really matter? Obviously
Saints,
not to the same
Falcons.
extent that Saints Falcons.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know if we'll get the same effect that we did with the Lions and Vikings at that point in the season. But what's some wild game that you think is gonna actually just like genuinely matter?
I think Detroit Chicago. I think that one's gonna be for a wild card spot.
Okay.
That one will be an interesting one. Los Angeles Denver. I think that's another one. I mean, obviously
That's
they're not
my game
competing
that I was
for-
circling.
They're not competing for that. Cleveland, no, not Cleveland, Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati kind of, because I feel like they're also going to be fighting for a wild card spot at this point. But like they'll be on the same spot as last year, and they're clearly going to beat Cleveland. But it's different because I think in Week 18 last season they were playing the Steelers, and it was for a playoff berth.
I think the
Let's
two that
see.
pique my interest are the Cardinals and Rams. You know, the divisional. I guess they're all division. Most of them, yeah. But I think that could be for a spot. They are all divisional games.
I'm going to bump mine up a little bit. I'm even going to say Detroit Chicago's for the division. I'll say that.
I disagree.
Anyways,
Washington
I-
Philly's going to be for the division. That'll be fun.
I don't know about that.
Dude, I already told Washington's fate.
I'm cool with it.
I-
I like it. Yeah.
I think the other one too that could play a big impact is that Seattle San Fran game as well.
I've got a game that we're gonna play toward now.
But we are done, so
So-
yes.
Yeah. So keep the teams up and everything, just so that you can, have them out in front of you. I want 3 teams, not from both of you, but like both of you guys combined, I guess. Who do you think was a playoff team last season that's going to be out of the playoffs this year?
Brother, I have to 3 teams. That's ridiculous. Now I have to pull up the playoffs.
Hey, that's not crazy. Chargers.
They're not going to be in there. Okay.
Yeah, I mean you gotta.
Pittsburgh, probably, right? I think they were in last year.
Yeah, but you never know with the Rodgers. Like that team is just gonna win 9 games. Like we just have to.
Would you even
get ready
say
for
like?
that.
Would you even say like Seattle? Because they were in there, I think, right?
They were not in
Seattle
the
wasn't
playoffs.
in. Seattle was not in the playoffs. No.
Packers.
I
Love
think
it.
the Packers are gonna make it.
I would hug you right now. Yeah.
Vikings too. I think the Vikings are going to be in the
Were they in
bubble.
You think?
Yeah, they
so
were.
wait.
Wow.
You think the Bears are gonna make it? 2 teams from that division have to make it.
Yeah.
I don't know about
I think
have to
even
make it.
3 could.
Yeah,
I
they
think even
do.
3 could. I think.
I think all 4 of those teams, peak of their powers, could be like number 2 in the conference.
All right, so looking at it, the one I'm most confident that will not come out of that division who had made the playoffs this previous year, I'm going to say the Vikings. I'm more confident that the Packers will make it over the Vikings. So we'll go with the Vikings, I guess.
All right, now give me 3 teams that weren't playoff teams last year that you guys think will be on the
Can I throw in Denver in the playoff thing?
that they're not gonna be.
Oh,
in
yeah.
there? That's fun.
Yeah, dude. What if their defense instead of being like first is 12th, and like
Yeah.
Bo Nix is still like Bo Nix, like really not aggressive, and this team just wins 8 games. It's a better division, Vegas caught up with a better quarterback, so I
Right.
would throw Denver in there.
So who do you think's not in the playoffs last year that will be this year?
Cincinnati, pretty easily.
Love it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
These ones are more out there. These are more like I could see happen. I don't want to quite yet call the shot, which is
Oh, yeah.
a full circle moment with one of these teams. I think is Arizona. I think they added Gannon gets those guys going. I think Arizona just because of the division. I love Matt Stafford and everything else, but all that hinges on how good is San Fran actually going to be. So Arizona is one of the teams. And then I can't believe I'm letting them do this to me again. But a team I think could possibly sneak in as a 7th seed is the Jacksonville. I'm going to get hurt by them. I'm let them do it to me again. But I wouldn't be shocked if they made their way in.
I have my 3:
Let's hear it.
Cincinnati, Dallas, San Francisco.
Ooh, I like
I
Dallas.
think-
Dallas is a good show.
I think we just do the bounce back game. I think all 3 of those teams that if they can reach their ceiling and their quarterbacks stay healthy, I absolutely believe they could all win 10 games.
My
Is there-
3, I'll go Chicago, Cincy, and I'm looking at it right now too. Yeah, wait. No, they're already in it. Yeah, I'll throw Atlanta. I'll throw Atlanta in there.
Wow.
No,
Coin
Yeah.
flip division.
it is. It is.
Is there any team in here that you guys think can go from worst to first? The team I would have said was the Jaguars, but then you got to remember
Can I
the
go to
Titans were the
standings where they
worst.
have it? Yes,
What?
they do.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Clutch.
All right.
Worst
So
of
your
first.
options would be Patriots, Browns, Titans, Raiders, Giants, Bears, Saints, Niners. Niners. That's it.
Yeah.
I legitimately think
It's
the
only
NFC
the
North
Niners.
is anybody's division, in my opinion. It's going to be a really, really close one. So that's why I would say the Bears have a chance. To answer your question, yes, they have a chance. Do I legitimately think they'll win it? No, but I think that they've got a chance for sure.
Yeah, I think the
They
Niners
have
is the right
zero
shout.
chance. Yeah, I don't think any of these teams have a chance. Buffalo's going to win this division again. Cleveland is trying to be bad. Tennessee, first-year quarterback. I mean, this is a weird division. What if? I'd give it 5%. Cam Ward is as dynamic as Jaden was. Raiders, Chiefs are in their division. Womp womp.
Yeah.
Giants, no shot. Chicago, no shot. The three teams are just that much better. That's my own opinion. The Saints, trying to be bad. Niners, bounce back. I think the Niners are the only shot.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't believe in the Niners as much as you guys do. I don't see it. So I don't know if this is something that I'll maybe warm up to or not. But
Well, you got to go check out our quarterback thing, and that's how you know Ryan is not high on the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
all right. So I believe that does it for this week's episode. So that's our early takes, I guess, for everybody watching right now. I'd like to I know we would like to hear your takes, so leave a comment if you guys are still here. That way we can hear what you think. And not only that, but I mean, our pick'em, like I said, just next week. So be ready for that. And if you guys want us to start with your division, leave a comment below. Whichever division has the most comments has the floor next week. Otherwise, we'll pick and it'll be boring. But, I'm just saying.
The viewers and listeners really just did get an insight of our proper yapping. And and the fact that we took the schedule at least up to basically an hour is kind of ridiculous for the three of us. But that's the proper amount of yapping that you guys could imagine that the three of us get ourselves into on a daily basis.
Oh yeah. It's fun, man. I can't wait to get into record predictions with you guys. It's gonna be so much fun. But Matt, any other comments, closing comments from the kid? What do we got?
No, I mean, what's the one game, like, outside of your guys' team you guys are looking forward to?
Now you'll have to have me go back through and look at
Lions,
everything here.
Eagles.
Okay.
I would say that one off the top of my head. Just knowing that the two divisions play each other, that one's pretty cool. And personally, I would say Bears Browns, just because my family it's a house divided there. So,
I get you.
There you go. Mine's a cop-out answer, but it's Week 15, Baltimore and Cincinnati. Like, how could I not look forward to these two guys play each other? So,
Wait, which week did you say?
Week 15.
That's tremendous. I prefer the one on Thanksgiving night, but that is my answer too.
There you go. Look at that.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Pigskin Project this week. We want to thank Uppercuts Grooming, Regional Radio Sports Network, and Spotify for Podcasters for helping us grow as a podcast. Again, be on the lookout for new content coming to the YouTube. And then, we're going to be posting a lot more with these, record predictions as well. So be on the lookout for some more content. And like I said before, follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. That way we can, let you know who we're going to be talking about when we talk about them. But until next time, this has been the Pigskin Project.